Hi, Steve, Billy, and Andrew. Let's wait for a few minutes to let others join.
Okay, will Freeman be joining?
Yes, he will join a bit late.
Okay, got it, thanks.
Hello? Yeah, I was wondering if my mic was muted or speaker was muted.
No.
We're just
Okay.
waiting for Feynman, I'm guessing.
Yes. So I do see Feynman is connecting. Yeah.
Yeah, if not, I can drive this meeting.
Or maybe you can share the screen. So today we have two agendas. The first one is the release of the ORAS CLI 1.1. Oh, Feynman is joining. Hi, Feynman.
Hi, Shui. Hi, everyone. Sorry for joining a little bit late. I feel a little bit uncomfortable a few minutes ago, so I just take a cup of water and now feel better.
Yeah, we just started. I'm sharing the screen. Can you see that?
Yes, we can see that.
Yeah, can see it.
Okay. Maybe Shui or Feynman, you want to continue? Yeah.
I just started. Feynman, do you want to host the meeting?
Yeah, actually, we don't have too many substantial topics gathered from community today, so we have listed only 2 topics on this agenda. So I'm curious if you guys have any priorities or topics you want to bring to this agenda. I think in general, we will go through the ORAS v1.1.0, this upcoming release, and the next is just a call for Artifact Explorer project brainstorming. And we may not dig into the details as we had a discussion before regarding the Artifact Explorer project in our last meeting. So this talk is just summarize all of those suggestions and some other updates into this talk. I also want to discuss the working group proposal as we discussed maybe a couple of months ago. The search API group seems Todd is not in this meeting today, so this topic are not added to the agenda. We can start from the first one. So could you or maybe open the first link, or else we want go one. Yeah, actually this milestone V1.1.0 is targeted to be released at the end of this month. And currently we have 4 open issues, which are still in progress. And we have 11 issues are resolved in this release. So maybe we can.
Is 1.1 targeting OCI RC3?
Actually, we don't have too many work guidance to support OCI spec RC3 in CLI side, but we do upgrade it in ORAS Go side.
Yeah. So will the 1.1 release have that update, or I mean, even if it's in the Go library, will we take that dependency in here, or will it be post?
No, taking RC3 as OCI RC3 is a big change, and that will not covered by 1.1.0 release of ORAS CLI.
Okay.
All right, I think we have issue number 414, which is related to remote dependency on .CLI. I think this is still in discussion, so maybe we can start from this issue. Could you open the third one? Yeah. I think this issue is depending on ORAS Credential Go library, and we have a patch release to fix some bugs in ORAS Go or ORAS Credential Go side. So I think it is a dependency track here. So should you have any comments on this issue?
So basically, we just want to wait for the next release of the ORAS Credential Go, and we can close this issue.
Okay, I think Xiaoxuan is taking this issue and fix the known bug reported in ORAS Credential Go.
Yes.
Okay, I think we can skip it and move on to the next one. It's related to skip reverse index cleanup. I think this issue is to request for adding a new flag. Would you want to give a quick walkthrough to this issue and our recent discussion?
Sure. This flag is targeting OCI 1.0 compliant registries and with deletion disabled. So since they are like OCI 1.0 compliant, referrals API won't be supported. So if user use like ORAS attach or ORAS discover, they're going to use the tag schema, which was built based on referral indexes. When attaching or copying and changing referrals of a subject, user will need to remove the old referrals index after creating a new one. So for ORAS copy or ORAS attach, user can use this flag to skip deleting the old referrals if deletion is disabled on their registries. Since the majority of the work is to attach or to copy, it's not to clean the do the referrals garbage collection. And also I mentioned as according to a discussion, you can see in the reference number 406 in the OCI distribution spec. According to discussion, seems that the garbage collection goes beyond the common scope of ORAS scope. So user can use the skip delete referrals flag to skip doing deletion, and the attach and the copy work will still work on those registries. Yes, any questions regarding this? So I want to mention that we don't want to introduce a breaking change in a 1.1.0 release. So the flag will be set to false. But we will see if we're still going to support text schema in ORAS 2.0, this flag will be set to default set to true. That is the long-term plan.
So so that means attach will fail by default on GitHub, right?
On GitHub, so deletion is disabled on GitHub by default.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So
Yes, by default it will.
So
it will be.
So what is the thinking on this? Like, this will fail on Docker Hub as well, right?
Yeah,
Sorry,
I think
can you repeat again? I think there's a lag.
Sorry, I feel like at least two major registries, Docker Hub and GitHub, will fail with the default behavior that ORAS ships with. Is that a statement that we want to change, or is it something that we feel is okay?
Okay, so you're saying that since two major registry doesn't support deletion, we don't want to like make the default value to false. Maybe you're proposing to set it to the true. Set it to true will definitely introduce breaking change. But function features in ORAS related to referrals are experimental. Also, me and Fima and Ian, so we have discussed that the agreement is that better not to bring any breaking change to what we have in ORAS.
This is only for the tag schema, right? This problem exists.
Yes, this is only for tag schema. We don't have the problem is we don't have any user statistics. Like maybe nobody is using tag schema right now. Maybe a lot of people were using that and they don't want we don't want to break them. So and it's very hard to collect the user data. So if we introduce the change, might be a huge impact or small impact, but we cannot evaluate.
So, but deletion failure is still a warning, not a fail, right? The exit code is not going to be 0, right? I mean, it's still going to be 0.
The problem is if we make it a warning, we can make it a warning in attach, but we cannot make it a warning in copy because copy may fail halfway. So if we make it a warning, so the copy may fail in halfway, and the user might do partial copy, and the return result is it's like it's positive. User might get false positive.
Can you
result.
explain how copy might be partial? There might be manifest old referrers that whose tags don't get updated, but targets, why would they actually be partially failing?
Okay. Yi, can you let me find the a HackMD document so you can open it. Just a minute.
I'm coming from the point where I'm hoping Docker Hub, when you run ORAS attach and against Docker Hub, the command doesn't fail because you cannot delete the reference manifest or reference tag schema. That would be a behavior I think is fair.
Okay.
Since it's a breaking change, although it is a experimental feature, I would like to have a vote in the community if we want to introduce this breaking change.
That makes sense.
Yes, that would be a good proposal. You can scroll up a little bit to the graph to the top, so I can explain how we might fail in the halfway. So suppose we have a index A, A is the index referring to 3 manifest B, C, and D, which whose subject points to E. And you can scroll down a little bit to the shell. Yeah, if we run like a registry without in the first line, we run the registry without delete enabled, and then we do ORAS copy, and this from a ACR to the start Docker registry. We can see that we will see that the copy will fail because B and C and D will for example if the copy sequence is first E and then B and C and D, the first copy of B will success because the referral index doesn't exist, it will be created, and the copy of C will fail because the index was created for the referring index was created for B and needs to be updated. And after created the index including B and C, it will delete the index for B and the copy stopped. If we consider that as a warning, then the copy
Sorry.
is. Sorry, any question?
Yeah, sorry. E is the subject here, and B is a different hash, or all. I mean, they're all different tags, right? But they all have the same index.
They have the same subject.
Yeah,
I
but they
can
would
share
all.
a live demo if you want.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out
Mhm.
what you're saying is that there is a case where copy will fail because the manifests are not deleted.
The copy will fail because of the text. The referral index copying the text schema cannot be deleted, and one of BCD will.
No, hold on. I'm. These are all new manifests, and they're just tags pointing to that. Why? I'm still not following why the final state with a set of invalid manifests just hanging around there is not possible. Why do we need to delete anything for getting the state is something I'm still not following. I might be missing something really obvious here, but just want to make sure, because the tag schema is only about the tag pointing to an index that has all the subjects. So if you're, so each one, B, C, and D should have a separate tag digest, right?
No, the tag schema is a digest of E, because E is the subject. So the ideal
Yes. So you're appending B, C, and D, right?
yes. If we
If
first
you're-
copy
Yes, and so each of it is an append and a new manifest, technically speaking, and depends on the order in which you append it and things like that. But finally, you should have one manifest that has all B, C, and D, and that tag should be pointing to an aggregated manifest of B, C, and D together. And that's the
yes.
final index. So intermediate manifest, whether they're deleted or not, is not important, because that is an issue with how the target registry handles manifests, right? Like you cannot delete them. So why is it I can understand that, yes, there are extra manifests that might get created, and this is definitely a scenario where you have multiple subjects or multiple referrers for E, but that's wasted manifest data, but it's not a failure in any form, right? Like that's how I'm seeing it. Like, yes, there is warning. We're creating a bunch of new manifests along the fly because of the fact that the registry is not supporting. But why should it fail?
Sorry, I think there's a lag. I didn't get the last sentence.
No, what I'm saying is my final state might be each time I append a manifest, the delete fails for the previous one. So I have two extra manifests, but in the third append, it should technically get me the data that I want. Like E should have a final tag with all three B, C, and D in it, right?
The final state cannot it is possible that the final state need to be maintained like multiple times during the copy. We cannot get final state directly. So if the concurrency is 1, we have to copy like BCD like 1 by 1 and maintain the state of the referral index.
No, but you're going to get the same behavior if you try to skip delete also.
But
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe I can explain a bit. So, ideally, you're right. That is, you will have two intermediate manifest and a final state, right?
Right.
So, in the current behavior ORAS, the intermediate manifest will be deleted, and it will be deleted on the fly. And when we delete it, it will throw an error, and it will fail the whole process. If we have a flag like skip, referral, tag schema index, something like that, then we will skip those errors. And of course, we are not trying to delete them, and we will keep them, keep the intermediate manifest, and the copy will just succeed.
Right. So it's the same behavior. The intermediate manifest gets created when you pass and skip delete, but what we're saying is we don't want to make that a warning. We want to keep that as a failure.
Yes.
All right, let's make sure that if at least if we document it, we call out that to attach, like basically attaching anything to Docker Hub requires you to pass this flag in right now. If you don't want to exit, if you don't want to fail exit code. I just think that's it's a bad precedent that we're setting, that we are saying that it's a 1.0 compliant registry because delete is not required for 1.0. But you're forcing the user to pass in a flag because one API is, the delete API is not accessible. It just seems backwards in my opinion, but
yeah, that's why we need a vote for the default behavior of our CLI. So to not making any breaking changes, then we should set the skip blah blah flag to be false. But as you can see, it's not convenient for registries like Docker Hub or other registries like JCR. So it might be more convenient to set it to true by default, but it also has some cons, although it has some pros. That is, you have to manually delete those manifest if your registry supports deletion.
Yeah,
So
so
it's
so
a
when
it's a trade-off.
right, and so if you want to default, if you want to delete by default, no, hold on, wait. I think you're saying two things. What I'm asking is, by default, you do try to delete, but don't make the exit codes fail, right? Like we're not changing the behavior. It's still skip delete is an internal implementation they have.
Actually, there's a lot of it's not deterministic, because when you fail to delete a manifest, it can be due to any possible reasons. So
Right.
and you cannot say that, okay, this is because your registry does not support delete. It might be caused by network issue, or it might be caused by you don't have enough permission.
What is
Something like
sorry, I'm just curious. What does Docker Hub return right now when you fail?
Billy, do you have any data for that?
Sorry, I don't have current.
I have a issue related to GitHub container registry behavior, and I share the link in this chat. So could you open issue 9.15? Yeah, I think this
by the
is.
way, by the way, Andrew, do you have any comments on the default value of the flag?
What are our options again?
So there are two options. The first option is that we make the skip referral, skip delete referrals tag to false. That is, we will have an error by default when we try to attach something to the Docker Hub or JCR. The other option is that we always set, not always, we set the flag to be true by default. That means by default we will not delete any referral manifest index. So that by default it will work on the Docker Hub and JCR. However, you will have a lot of dangling manifests in your registry.
I would prefer the non-dangling manifests. Yes, it will fail on Docker Hub or GCR, but once again, we don't control necessarily right now what that functionality is. The last thing I want to do is to have us make a release just because these registries start to implement our preferred approach. We should go in with best practices in mind and either work with them or talk to, or wait till they change their implementation. But we just note, in our documentation, what you need to do if you are pushing to certain registries.
Thanks, Andrew, for the input.
So we're saying is we would document that these would fail, and this flag needs to be passed in for these registries, right?
That's my recommendation. Yes.
Okay, that's different from what I was suggesting. I was suggesting we would warn that these are not being deleted and still succeed the attach command. Because right now the exit code is going to be fail and the script would fail even though attach is technically complete, but the manifest delete fails. So, which might be harder to implement.
Hey, Sajay.
Yep.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
So we are not entertaining the option that actually if we succeed the attach, but we fail to delete the manifest, we exit with 0, which means it's successful operation with the warning that we show to the user. So that's not an option.
Yes, for attach it's doable, but for copy it's not doable. So maybe we can remove this flag from attach and consider the failure as a warning. It is doable.
So maybe I'm missing what is the copy problem.
Copy may have the same problem like attach. It will also need to maintain the referral index, and if when doing copy, you might fail to delete the dangling referral index also.
So when we do copy, why do we delete stuff? I am a little bit
just
confused.
like,
what is the scenario?
Yeah, you can switch back to the HackMD.
Sorry, I'm in the car. I cannot see HackMD.
So Toddy, I think summarizing is that if you have multiple referrers, we would attach each one in the library, and then each time you attach it, you have to either delete the old manifest. That's, first of all, we should probably consider kind of like rebuilding the manifest, but that's multiple challenges to this. That's okay. So there are a bunch of intermediate manifests that might get created and dropped along the way. That's why.
When you do a copy?
Yeah.
Okay, then maybe I'm not very clear on what we are doing when we do copy, but
yeah.
Okay.
Shiva, Billy, can you clarify that we actually put these intermediate manifests to the registry and then delete them? Is that what's happening during copy?
Sorry, can you repeat again? I
Sorry.
think there's a voice very low. Yeah.
Sorry.
Get it.
Are we putting the manifest and then deleting them from the registry? For if you have in this scenario where you have 3 manifests or 3 intermediates, right? 2 intermediates.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're delete the intermediate. The problem is, for example, if we have 2 intermediates, we will delete the first and create the next one. And we might even be terminated before we get to the final state. So if we consider that failure as a warning, the whole process is done halfway.
No, yeah, no, but what I'm trying to understand is we actually have a large number of registry operations if the number of referrers is high. It's an orthogonal concern.
It's what a concern.
It's a different concern. Like if you're using tag schema, you end up writing a large number of intermediate manifests if the number of referrers is high.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So first of all, the tag schema is a fallback solution.
Right.
So the ultimate solution is the referral API.
Right.
So
where you don't have to worry about this.
Yes. First, we won't worry about for the tag schema for large amount of referrals. If we do really have a large amount of referrals, we should use the referral API. And the referral APIs are the feature. So, well, it's very fine that we don't support a large amount of referrals in the tag schema. Back to the design. So for the design of the ORAS Go library, that is the ORAS Go library is trying to make the experience more robust as possible. So what it does is, if the concurrency level is 1, that is, we are copying 1 by 1. That is, for example, here we have BCD. That is, we first we have the B copied, and also the A generated, and then we will copy the C and remove the old A. Of course, we have the new A created, and keep the same process for D. The benefit of this one is that if you fail in the middle, for example, you have a bad networking, or you have other things that terminates your copy process, you still get the intermediate state without losing the B or C. That's pretty cool. But if you have if you increase the concurrency level, for example, you increase the concurrency level to 3, that is, B, C, D are copied at the same time, and you will end up as you will only create 1A. That it will save some request and save some. It will not create any intermediate referral manifest.
Okay.
Also, this design also applies because you cannot assume that in the target the E has empty referrals.
Right.
Maybe E at the target has something like FH, FGH, IJK referrals, and it just need 3 more referrals like BCD. You never know, right?
Okay. I'm hoping we don't have to deal with this and everybody just implement refers. That's the OCI person and me hoping. Can we make sure at least that when you fail the command, you tell the user what to do?
That's actually a good idea. That is, when we fail it, you are suggesting that we can modify the error message to have a more friendly one that
Yes,
prompts the user to use the skip, delete, referral tag.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
Really, is it doable?
Yes, that's totally doable. We know like we have a determined way to know whether the failure was caused by deleting referral, dangling referrals, and we can suggest user to use the flag to avoid such failure.
There is also the issue number 915 to suggest improve the error logs for using ORAS with OCI v1 compliant v1.0 compliant registries or registries that don't support deletion API. We may need to remind users to use that new flag or do the garbage collection by themselves.
Sounds good. I think that's a decent compromise. I think I don't mind it as long as you can tell me what to do, right? Like, okay, I know how to fix this situation.
Maybe we need another vote for confirming the default behavior of this flag. Do we want to skip the deletion, the default deletion behavior, or just? I think we need a vote for that, should we? Since this is a breaking change that we want to introduce in V1,
no, we're not doing a breaking change, right? I mean, I'm okay with as long as we give the user a proper error message saying that, hey, we failed the operation. You should pass in the flag so that this was a referrer delete and the registry we couldn't delete the manifest or something like that.
I think, Sajay, your point is that we will not change the default behavior, but remind users with a straightforward error message to guide users use that flag.
Yeah, I don't think Toddy's going to agree to that. You can ask him. Toddy, I saw your hand
Yeah.
up. Go for it.
I have a question. So we'll show the message after the operation is complete, right? I'm trying to understand what's the point of that, because I already kind of did what I wanted to do. And the question now that will be in the customer or the user's mind is, so, okay, did that complete or not? Should I retry the operation or not?
So if
I'm
we
not
tell,
sure how that will help the user, right? At least the error message should say, we completed these things, but we had some dangling stuff left, right? That's what we are targeting.
Yes, Toddy, what you were suggesting is totally right for ORAS attach. But for ORAS copy, if we tell the user the operation is complete, that's a false positive, because operation might be done halfway. So maybe we can tell the user the operation is complete in attach, but not in copy.
So do you
But we
want
can-
to warn in attach and fail in copy? Is that what you're suggesting?
Yes, but that will introduce inconsistency between the commands in ORAS. I'm not sure whether we want to introduce that inconsistency.
Yeah, I need to understand more what are the problems with the copy. So is that happening when we do a kind of recursive copy, and let's say the first level gets copied, and okay, I understand.
I can give you a short demo.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, we can discuss that offline.
Yeah, but it is odd that you've completed attaching the artifact, you've failed the command, and if they try to run it again with the flag, it's like it gets attached again with a new manifest, and you've introduced yet another manifest into the mix, right? So
yeah, that's quite odd.
But that's also because Docker Hub and GHCR doesn't support manifest delete.
I think we can differentiate two cases. First one is for attach. We can improve the error message from error to warning and remind users that the operation has been, such as this artifact has been attached to GitHub, container registry, or Docker Hub. But the warning message is that they need to use the skip reverse index or do the garbage collection by themselves. It depends on what users you choose. But for ORAS copy, I think this is another different case. I think we can remind users that the copy operation is not completed due to the reverse text schema reason, or the registries doesn't support deletion API, and the next step they should do. Hey, Shrik, you have your hands up.
Yeah, there's a technical issue on the ORAS attached to determine whether it is really a not supported case, because it is possible that you have a registry that is supposed to support the delete. However, it may be some because of the server issue. It says, okay, deletion is not supported, but it should support. And at the ORAS side, it says it's a warning and it's exceeded, but the user is expecting to be fail, right? It's to fail it. So it's not robust.
Sorry, I don't get it. Will the network issue cause the 405 response?
Not 405. I mean, it's possible that the user does not have enough permissions. So to that user, he or she cannot delete the manifest, but for other users they can. and maybe the user is expecting to fail the command, and maybe he can so she can change another account to just run it again or delete the manifest. So it's very hard to catch every edge cases.
Yeah, but for user with insufficient permissions, we will not consider it as warning. We can tell the difference between a referrals API is not supported and user and other errors. I think the so what you mentioned in your scenario, we won't like suggest user to use the skip referrals or like consider failure as warning. There's a deterministic way to do that.
So so in the end, we will have something like a C compiler, something like trade warning as errors, but I'm not sure it's the good way to go.
I think we can discuss that offline. If for now the issue is focusing on the referrals. Yeah, Pima, do you have any comment?
Yeah, I think we may need more time to think about the behavior. You know, we may have different cases for ORAS copy and ORAS attach. So we can bring this question offline to offline discussion. And we still have a couple of items in our agenda. So we can, and we have only 10 minutes left. Okay, could you go back to the agenda item? And I think for this issue, we may need more discussion and make the summarize it in the issue. The next item would be just called for reviewing the Artifact Explorer project brainstorming. I have shared this document to the ORAS org maintainers group, and I think we may need more time to wait for their comments, as they are not in this meeting today. So we can skip this item. And the next one would be the status updates related to LFX mentorship projects. Would you mind me to share my screen, since I have to switch to multiple tabs and windows for different project status. Hey, would you, I may need to share my screen, so.
Yeah, please, Tim.
Yeah, it seems I cannot share it since other participants is sharing. So I think you can also open the first one. I can quickly update those two LFX mentorship project status, as we have selected 2 mentees from this program. And we also have another 2 projects which are completed in the first term of this program. Yeah, for this project, our goal is to design and implement the Artifact Explorer web portal project, as we mentioned in our last meeting. And we have a developer, Vasu, from India, who was selected in this program. And he shows his good technical fundamentals surrounding design and implement and the front-end development skills. And he also provide a prototype and also Figma design for us to review. So we choose Vasu for this project. And our goal is to deliver the Artifact Explorer web portal based on the expect features that we list in that brainstorming doc. And we have 3 mentors for this project. Billy, Esmit, and me I are the mentors for this project. So we will have 3 months to finish this project. So could you switch to the second project? This project is to refactor and update the ORAS documentation structure and write new user guides for ORAS based on the latest release of ORAS. We don't have too much investment on the ORAS documentation before. So by leveraging this program, we have a dedicated contributor, Dikasha, who is got experience in technical writing. So she will help us to refactor the ORAS documentation structure and write new user guides for ORAS. And you may notice that she already submitted a PR to add the guide for using ORAS with salt registry, and it is still under peer review. And she's also preparing for a new ORAS documentation structure recently, and I think it will be ready to review within 1 week. This is the second program, and we have another 2 programs. We have another 2 LFX projects which are not listed in today's agenda, but I just want to share the status. The third one is the ORAS.NET SDK, which is mentoring by Sylvia and Shui, and we have a mentee from Nigeria, Samson, who is contributing to this project, and we have the first version for ORAS.NET SDK project, and I will share the link in our chat box. Actually, this is the first release of ORAS.NET SDK, and we still have some remaining items left for ORAS.NET SDK project. And if Sylvia, you have any comments or updates regarding ORAS.NET SDK, you can chime in. I think the major items are the unit test and the documentation work that we are working on with the mentee. And we cut the first v0.1 3 weeks ago. And Sylvia, if you have any comments.
Yeah, currently it's there are some documentation work left.
Thanks. And I see there are some PRs merged recently after the first release. I think we may also need to propose v0.2 for ORAS.NET SDK, I guess.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
Is this released as a NuGet package, or is it like a beta or an alpha?
Currently, it's a local NuGet package. The package hasn't been uploaded to the NuGet the NuGet org.
Okay, but I'm guessing we plan as a beta or an alpha, right? Like not as a more like a pre-release.
Currently, the first version was 0.1.0, and the second would be 0.2.0.
I see. No, what I'm trying to get to is, I don't know, like, do we need to have like a pre-release version, like when you push it to NuGet, because 0.1.0 might not be good enough for NuGet to know that it's a pre-release version.
Okay, do you mean the official NuGet package that could be uploaded to the NuGet org?
Yeah, so that would have to have some indicator that is actually a pre-release package.
Yeah, but the tricky point is that this project may not be mature enough currently to be uploaded to the NuGet org.
Sounds good. Even at the point we are ready, I think even then, just make sure that it goes in as a pre-release first. I think that's the point.
So do you mean we should still have some pre-release version for the NuGet?
I don't think, like you said, I don't think we are ready, but when we are ready, we start with that phase. And
Yeah, that makes sense.
This versioning scheme, is this tag scheme good for .NET as well?
You mean the V holder 1.0?
Yes.
Let me check. Offline. I'm not very sure at this moment. I will double check.
Thanks, Sylvia.
And
Sajid. And we can move on. I think we have only 1 or 2 minutes left, so we can we can move on to the last LFX project. The last one is redesign and implement the ORAS website. And as you guys, and I think you guys already noticed that ORAS has launched the new website on oras.land, and it has added some new subpages like blog page adapters, and also some updates on the landing page. So on adopters page, we have listed some known adopters for ORAS, and we also added some entries for community entries like Slack, Twitter, and our community meeting. And we also added a section for ORAS CLI installation like macOS, Windows, and Linux. Regarding Linux, we also had a big updates on Ubuntu installation. We have a contributor from Canonical who contributed a snap package for ORAS, and currently it is available to use on Ubuntu, and we can quickly install ORAS CLI while snap install ORAS. Just one command to install ORAS CLI v1.0.0. This is the most convenient way to install ORAS on Ubuntu. And I think the next step is to add a GitHub Actions to upgrade the snap package version per new release automatically. So this is the updates regarding LFX mentorship and also the ORAS installation package. Any questions or update or suggestions around the agenda? If not, I think we can end up today's meeting. And Sajid, you shared a runtime repository tags. Do you have any specific comments on the ORAS.NET SDK versioning?
No, I think it's okay, is what I was saying. It's they have a dash preview and they have a version that keeps going like that. So we can take a look at that for tagging going forward. Thanks.
Okay, I think we can end up today's meeting, and we finished all of those items in our agenda. Thank you all. I will share the meeting notes and meeting recordings in our Slack channel.
Thanks, folks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.